What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? JTW here, ready to get started on another pre-market live stream. Going to do some trade reviews, some trade planning, talk a little bit about where we're sitting at with the market here, looking at S&P futures. What's up? Unknown reviews. What's up, Katie? Good to see y'all here. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you guys coming here bright and early in the morning. What's up, Deidre? Good to see you as well, as always. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good weekend and a good start to the week yesterday. Excuse me. Still trying to get through this cough a little bit. It just pops up every once in a while, and it's like, hey, I'm not totally gone yet. So almost have it in the rear view, though. What's up, Strife? Good to see you. Good morning. Glad you are here. Good to see folks joining us this morning. Let me just get this. I'm going to start it over on our Xtrades Discord as well real quick. Get those folks at least watching along. For those who are watching on Discord right now, remember, we are moving all of this over to YouTube here. Probably, I would say, at the end of the month, we'll fully transition. We'll no longer be doing the stream over to the Discord as well. We'll just strictly do things via YouTube, probably starting in June. I think that's probably a good cutoff point. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk a little bit about where we're at with the market. Let's get into some trade reviews. We'll take a look at member selected tickers that were voted on and planned out for you guys Sunday evening. And then we'll get to the couple of trade plans that we did last Thursday that we haven't had a chance to touch on as far as reviews go. And then we'll move on to some new trade plans. I see folks already putting, I think there's a couple of secs or a minute that gets cut off on YouTube. Okay. That's good to know, Strife. I'll go back and watch the recording of the stream and see if I can't figure out what's going on. I mean, I've got everything kind of queued up and ready to go, and then I just hit go live, and I thought it was kind of picking everything up in real time there. So yeah, I'll take a look and see if I can't figure out what I need to do to correct that. I appreciate stream started a little bit after you must have started speaking. Okay. No, I appreciate you letting me know. Let me take a look at it. I'll see if there's something that I could do as far as like maybe actually starting the stream a minute earlier before I actually start talking or something like that. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. Again, if you guys do notice anything weird as far as things getting cut off, quality issues, delays, anything like that, please feel free to let me know. I want to make sure that this is a seamless and you know, polished experience for folks who are taking the time to join us here pre-market. So let's get into ES. We'll talk about this a little bit. I also see we've got some ticker requests popping up in the chat already this morning. I love to see that. So we'll get to those here momentarily. So what are we looking at here from a, overall market expectations? Where should we be at? Should we be bullish? Should we be looking to buy dips? Should we be looking to sell rips? I'd say right now is a good time to start to look to take profit on long positions. Also start to look for maybe opening. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. Good morning, brother. Glad you're here. I feel like we haven't seen you on these last couple of live streams, but I know you're a busy man, so I'm glad you take the time to have taken the time to join us here this morning. So going back to what we're looking at here from a futures standpoint, again, just some things that kind of make me give me some pause, give me some concern about holding longs at this point, and probably a good time to scale out, maybe even look to get some hedges in if you got some stuff that's already up and kind of a leap position or something with a decent amount of time on it. Oh, nice. Yeah. Good for you, man. I hope you had a wonderful vacation. You'll have to tell me about it. Why am I saying that? Well, we're seeing some resistance up here at this 52.12.50 level. Again, this is an old Fibonacci extension from, I think, well before ES broke into the 5,000s. Also have a supply zone here overhead that we're tapping the far side of, already finding some resistance there. There's also sort of it wasn't the greatest trend line in the world, but it was holding up for the most part. We did see this little flash dip below. I mean, kind of dipped below and bought right back up. But then we saw a true breakdown of this trend line throughout this move here earlier in the month. And now we're seeing it tapping that trend line and finding some resistance there on this back test. So again, just a few things that kind of indicate to me that it would be smart to look to start taking some profits on your longer dated positions, maybe be a little bit less aggressive about entering longs at this point. Wait for a pullback, I'd say around 51.70, 75, somewhere in this demand zone down here, maybe even as far down as 51.60, 51.55, somewhere in that neighborhood. Would be a good area to maybe look at picking up some longs and see if we don't get another bounce out of this area. An attempt to come up here and push through the supply zone on the second test. I'll be surprised if we just slice right through it, with this being sort of the first test up in this range since it was established as a supply zone. So just keep your heads on a swivel. Like I said, probably good spot to start scaling out longs, build in hedges, put those into place, and just be ready to maybe look for some short-term downside on the markets here as we look to probably establish a new base up here in the 51, 55 plus range and try to push higher out of that potentially. All right, so trade reviews, let's get into those. Member selected tickers we did over the weekend. We had AMD was the hot ticket. There were lots of votes for AMD over the weekend. We saw a really nice, and I pointed this out yesterday in the chat, really nice, we pre-market pushed above our entry level. Again, I'm planning and posting these out here Sunday evening, so this pre-market action, I'm not accounting for. We did get a push above and over PT1 for calls all the way up to this next resistance up there at 155.49, but ultimately pre-market pulled back all the way down to give us a back test of our entry, and really kind of a nice little opening dip right down to the 200 SMA that got bought right back up and then consolidated as support right there on our call entry level. So that's a really nice hold, and I would say good back test after that pre-market break above. Nice hold and back test, and pushes up over, got to PT1 plus, trying to hold PT1 as support, and kind of just consolidating off those highs from yesterday. But overall, AMD playing out nicely to the upside, especially if you caught this back test entry off our call level there at 152.42. That gave you a nice $2+ move just to get up to PT1 in a very short amount of time. I was playing AMD yesterday, and it paid very handsomely off that backtest opportunity. So make sure that you are keeping these plans on the top of your list and ready to execute when they do go into effect. HD, I was watching this one all day yesterday. Really kind of nothing to see here so far. Did run right up to our call entry level, but ultimately rejected and is consolidating kind of between the stop loss levels. So no entry yet on HD, but it is getting interesting. 200 SMA has caught up, starting to show some support off that 200 SMA. So we were a little bit overextended to the upside. Now that 200 SMA is caught up, both these moving averages trending to the upside. So we could see HD try to make a move or a push today. Again, there's the key level for me is still going to be 345.98, but I could potentially see an opportunity to get in around 343.88 and use that 345.98 as a first price target. But so far, again, kind of nothing actionable. Nothing's really happened yet here on this HD trade plan. All right, let's get to the next, or the third and final one from the member selected tickers over the weekend, which was Marathon Digital. This was another nice one yesterday, kind of just barely breaking above, then opens this candle right on top of our call entry and just pushes up right off of that. So call entry down there at 1861. Marathon ultimately moved all the way up to our second price target there at 2108. I think, the day's range was 2103, so 5 cents off that high a day, being exact at our PT2 level there. But for a ticker that's trading in the $18 range, a move from 18 up to 21, or I should say in the double digits range, a move from 18 to 20 plus is a pretty significant move and paid very nicely on Marathon yesterday. We are seeing some consolidation and resistance here at PT2. PT2 might be all that we get out of this one before it pulls back. this 2036 support confluence with the 200 SMA is pretty interesting to me. So I would keep an eye on that. If we do start to lose that, I would look to maybe secure any runners you might be holding, but you should already have scaled out a couple of times for profit on this one, and stops should be up well into the above your break-even entry points at this point. So keep an eye on Marathon. It looks like it wants to continue running. Crypto trying to rebound. Marathon being a Bitcoin miner, that is going to continue to help them push in the right direction. And then last week on the Thursday's live stream, we did a couple of plans, those being Meta and Canopy Growth. Canopy, as you can see here, a little bit of a right at the open fake out. I talk about this a lot. Be very careful chasing or jumping into trades right there in the first 15 to 30 minutes of the day. It's a pretty, there's a better than decent chance that you're going to get perhaps caught in some kind of a bull or bear trap. Definitely looked like a little bit of a bull trap here right after the open there. Excuse me. Yes, last Thursday after we did this plan, it's now pulled back and is holding the 948 support, below which we would be looking to take puts. So kind of in the range, looking for a break above 1194 still, or a break below 948. So keep this one on watch. But so far, really nothing actionable on this yet. And then Meta yesterday pushed above our call entry here. Pre-market came back tested that call entry right there at 453.61. In fact, it dipped just slightly below that 453.34 low of the day yesterday. Overall, very bullish look here on Meta at the moment. Very close to getting to PT1, so keep that on watch. Just needs to break over this. Is this a fib level, I'm guessing? Yeah, that 38.2 fib, because we had to use those with Marathon with Meta having minimal price action up in this particular range. So keep an eye on a break above this. What is that? 465.54. That should complete the move up to PT1, and we should be good to go to start securing some profits on this Meta trade plan. If you took that backtest entry yesterday, great job. That was a really nice setup, both from a technical analysis standpoint. Indicators also very bullish on Meta at the moment, with Neptune kind of bullish across the board here on the 15-minute. SMA is trending to the upside. Everything looking good for Meta bullishness. All right, so let's get to some new trade plans this morning. The first one that we got was from KD, wants to take a look at SHOP. So let's dig in. Let's see what we can figure out how to make some money here on SHOP. All right, just temporarily gonna hide my indicators. I just want to focus on the price action here for a minute. Zoom out a little bit, see what we've got. Seems to be running through some old trade plan levels, but SHOP is not one I've kept the closest eye on. I'm sure there are some levels that I'm going to need to add to make sure that our plan is thorough. And I'm definitely seeing something right about here. Kind of wondering if this also might be a higher time frame level here versus an hourly. Yeah, looks a little bit better as a 4-hour level in my opinion. So we'll keep that on watch. Interesting topping action in here. Might be sitting a little bit more like right here. Yeah, it's a pretty decent level we're going to want to watch. This is also an interesting level. Yeah, we'll put this one on watch as well. All right, let's see where that situates us. There's this weekly level just overhead. We came just shy of that, or SHOP came just shy of that, I should say. We aren't really in or doing anything with SHOP yet, but that is about to change. Yeah, there's something right about here too. All right, let's take a look at this hourly chart. I think we can fill in the blanks from here. Let's get our indicators on. Let's see what we've got. All right. Where does the upside really open up for shop? Yeah, we keep seeing a lot of rejections or resistance and struggles around this 79.42. I think that's the key level to break, in my opinion. I think that gives us a pretty solid stop loss average level here at 78.09. It's also a weekly level, so I would want to see that hold if we're on the north side of 79.42. First target, already eyeballing this 81.21. Let's see if we can get some more looks at that, some better confirmation. Yeah, I like that. First price target. Second target, I've got a level up here that was from a previous trade plan around this 83.58. I wonder if I've got that a little on the high side. I think it is more like 83.40 by the looks of it. I also think that's a good second price target. Third price target, let's take a look. Let's go back here. Yeah, definitely like that level being just a little bit lower there. Third price target, let's see. This is an interesting little resistance flip to support. Rally base rally over this level. But that's just kind of one time. I want to see if maybe I can get some more touches up in this range, and doesn't look like it. Like I'm just scrolling through zero price action space there. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. We can use what we've got back here. I was just looking for a little bit more confirmation, but that doesn't always happen for us. So yeah, I'm thinking probably right in this 85.17. It's going to be a smart third price target as we look for shop to try to recover some of this downside that's played out on it here as of late. All right, so downside setup. Let's see where that is. Yeah, 73.74. Looking for a break below that. Stop loss. Yeah, up here at this 75.20 level. First target, yeah, definitely going to be this old trade plan entry for downside, or no, it looks like it was maybe a call level actually. But yeah, 72.04, first target. Yeah, 70.44. Fortunately, we kind of got a little bit lucky where we've got these old trade plan levels that are just kind of giving us showing us the way here without having to do a bunch of digging. It's kind of playing these same levels very similarly. So now my question is, do we shoot for this 69.22 or do we look for a lower low, potentially down at 68.31? I'm going to say let's take a shot at that 68.31 level. Just actually, let me go back a little bit. We should be able to find some tests through this range a little bit easier. Yeah, let's go with that. So these are the shop trade plans. We'll talk through these right after I get them posted for you all. Let's see, got that there, and the short position here. All right, that should be easy enough to see. Actually, I need to copy the link for YouTube side of things. There we go, and that is the shop trade plans. And then I'll go post it over in our Discord as well. Real quick. All right, so what are we looking for here on shop? We are looking for a break over 79.42 to play calls or more for upside with targets at 81.21, 83.40, and 85.17 with a stop loss average down at 78.09. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 73.74. That should give us downside targets at 72.04, 70.44, and 68.31 with a stop loss average down at 75.20. Those are your shop trade plans. Thank you very much for the request, KD. I do appreciate it. Let's get to Unknown Reviews. Wants to take a look at Oxy, Occidental Petroleum. Let's see what we've got on Oxy here. Unknown Reviews definitely likes to like these tickers with earnings reports that are just barely in the rear view or right on top of us. So we do have earnings, looks like today after hours. So keep that in mind as you look to swing any positions. Be very careful doing that. You are swinging through an earnings report, which is puts you right in the crosshairs of potential IV crush scenario. So, you know, you could still be right about the move and be red on your contracts. That's the pain of trading options for earnings reports, or holding options through earnings reports, I should say. All right, interesting little level developed in here that I don't have yet. I think it will be a factor for our plans, so we'll keep that on watch. There's another one that's built up right around here. Yeah. So we'll keep those on watch. All right. So then my question is, great, we've got some levels to look at. When do we want to get in? I think if we can break that yesterday's high a day, looks like it could make a move. Use this prior key level as a stop loss average down based on what I've seen so far. If we're back over 65.73, 64.93 needs to hold, or else could pull back even further. First price target is a little interesting here, actually, because it looks like it could be a pretty decent move, actually, up to this 67.08 level. Over that, definitely that 68.10 weekly. Then over 68.10, interesting level right in here. That I wouldn't want to be too greedy on this trade, again, especially with earnings this evening. So I think that those are smart price targets. 1, 2, 3. Good stop loss there. All right, let's see what we get or can find for downside. 64.19 level's a little bit interesting. We do have this double bottom here recently, though, down there at 63.68. Question would be, is that an actual established level, or is that just a flash in the pan? I think it is actually a pretty decently established level. I think it'll probably be a smart put entry if we break below that double bottom. So let's take a look at this again. There's definitely a level down here too that I don't currently have. So how does this shape up for us? Let's see. I'm kind of looking at two different things here, two different scenarios. Kind of the more patient, wait for the entry. At the same time, it probably won't happen until after the earnings report, and then I expect Oxy to be in a totally different area of price action after earnings. So how can we make this actionable is kind of what I'm wrestling with in my brain. I think we can take a shot at it from this standpoint below 64.19. There's a risk of that double bottom holding, but there's a decent chance that it doesn't, and we possibly get down to this weekly level at 63.38. That could be an interesting price target. Actually, the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking it's more like 62.91. I think that's the real target. So that's the first price target. Now we could, and I think do have, I'm guessing these orange levels were some kind of fib extensions or retracements trying to nail down some price action, because it looks just a little bit off, and orange isn't a color I typically use for my standard levels. I think there is a level here sitting here though at 62.28 that we're not going to want to ignore. I know it's kind of a tight PT1, PT2 there, and honestly even kind of a tight PT2 to PT3, but just what the chart looks like to me. So just so we don't get confused by these other levels down here, let's get those out of the mix. So yeah, it's kind of a big move down to PT1. And then PT2-3 kind of right after that. But still a good setup. And I think with earnings, again, looming. Oh, gosh, before I get too excited, let's make sure I'm not missing any confluences or anything that Neptune's showing that says, don't do that. That's a little above our entry, but I'm not super worried about that. 333 is right up there, giving some confluence at PT1. I think we're in pretty good shape. So these are your Oxy trade plans. Let's take a look at these. We'll walk or talk ourselves through these one more time before we move on to the next one. Let's get this posted over here. Oxy trade plans for our friends on YouTube and for our friends in Discord. So what are we looking for on Occidental Petroleum? We're looking for a break over 65.73 to play for upside. That should give us targets at 67.08, 68.10, and then 69.24 with a stop loss average down at 64.93. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 64.19. That should give us targets at 62.91, 62.28, and 61.47 with a shared stop loss at that same level there, 64.93. Those are your Oxy trade plans. All right. Thank you very much for that one. Who was that? Unknown Reviews with the earnings on your doorstep ticker requests. Of course, man. Happy to do it. Hopefully we get some actionable moves before that earnings report hits. All right. So let's see. We got through Shop. We got through Oxy. Next one was T-Bio, which I'm not familiar with. Deidre with the T-Bio request. Telesis Bio. Interesting. Ooh, penny stocks. I haven't looked at penny stocks in a long time. Goodness. For something that trades in the pennies, 60 average volume in the below 100,000 range. Okay. Well, is there something reverse stock split? So they're getting ready to try to push themselves back above and out of the delisting area of price action. They do have earnings coming up tomorrow, it looks like. Yeah, tomorrow. Doesn't say pre-market or after hours. TradingView's not always the most reliable source for earnings data. And T-Bio is the only other request that we have at the moment. So normally I would say this is a really low volume penny stock. We're probably not going to find much actionable on this, but I don't have any other ticker requests, so we got time. So, and Deidre has been very good about joining us, loyal live stream attendee. So I want to do her a solid, and let's see if we can't figure out how to trade this sucker. It's going to be interesting. All right. And that is, yeah, we're at all-time lows essentially. And what is it that they actually do? Commercial services. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't pay dividends. Engages in the provision multi-omic synthetic biology solutions. God. Good luck getting that one if you get on a spelling bee. Oligonucleotides, I'm guessing. All right, so let's see what we can do with this T-Bio ticker. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I like a challenge. It's also going to be interesting with this reverse stock split coming up and earnings tomorrow, so keep all of that top of mind. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to find levels on this guy, but again, who doesn't like a challenge? Yeah, that level's sitting more like right there. So, Deidre, if you don't mind, what put T-Bio on your radar? This is one I've never heard of and normally probably wouldn't even look at. So I'd like to know. It's obviously become of interest for you for some reason. Would love to know what that is. Not questioning you or try. Don't want that to sound like a negative or a challenge or anything. I'm purely curious about kind of what got this on your radar. If you don't mind sharing. If you do, that's fine too. No hard feelings. All right. There's definitely a level around here. This is wild. Excuse me. Definitely one. I don't even know if this is optionable. I'd be surprised if it is. But I would certainly stick to shares on this one with the very low volume. And don't know if it's shortable or not either, because I've never heard of it before this morning. So. Yeah, that level's sitting more like right there. I think there is something in this 93 cent range, but we shall see. Not totally convinced. There is something right there, though. Interesting spike and ultimately rejection here. We are gonna, I just saw it on Discord yesterday on the pinned and was curious about the split and if it would be worth a look. Yeah, okay. Well, that explains it. No, I was just curious how it landed. This probably came from the stock side of the house. I'm guessing those folks know how to find these, you know, penny tickers that just move like crazy, where you load up on shares and make, you know, 20%, 30% in a day without having to worry about theta and all the other, you know, challenging aspects of options. Yeah, definitely have a level here. All right, I'm just getting ready to do fib extensions to the downside. And really, I think we're going to trace off this most recent high to low move. Now, the interesting bit of this is going to be where we find our confluences. We're also potentially going to get down into what would be negative numbers. And also, there's not a lot of room to short this guy at this point. I mean, when you're down at 30 cents, you know your max gain scenario, if you try to play it shorter to the downside, is 30 cents. That's all you can. You can't make any more once it gets to zero if you're playing short. Oh yeah, sure. I totally get it, Deidre. I appreciate the request. I appreciate you explaining why it was of interest to you. Whoops. I want to lock this fib extension in there. I don't want to draw a level on that yet. It's going to be an interesting one for sure as we come up with this plan that takes us potentially down to 7 cents. But again, anything's possible. And if this is shortable, that could wind up being a trade. All right, so already, I mean, we don't have anything else to work with for the downside except for these trend-based fib extensions, so that's what we're going to use. 36 cents, yeah. Okay, upside. I want to see it over this weekly level here at 47 cents. Man, so it just feels weird talking about something in the cents. As you can probably figure out, I do not do a lot of trade planning or trading in general of penny stocks. Every once in a while, though, I will follow some of our analysts over on the stock side of the house because they find these, they know how to trade these, and sometimes it's, you know, there's not a lot that I would just buy and hold kind of blindly or passively, but some of these trades I see those folks come out with, like On Target and JP Mog and those folks, you know, I'll kind of throw some money into it just in the background and see if they can't make me some money I wouldn't have otherwise made on my own. All right, so this is what I'm looking at for T-Bio, not iBio, T-Bio. Definitely an interesting scenario. Again, remember, reverse stock split coming up. I didn't see a date on that. I don't see a date. Well, turn the indicators on. Don't see a date on the chart mentioned either. So just keep that in mind. And then also earnings coming up today. Or tomorrow, I mean, sorry. Unknown whether or not it is pre-market or after hours, though. So, this is what we're looking at. Let's see if these don't play out. Don't think we're going to need a negative price target. All right. So, interesting one. Kind of fun to do this because, again, I don't do it often. But T-Bio trade plans. Let me get it shared over in Discord. All right, so what are we looking for here on T-Bio for our friend Deidre? Well, we're looking for a break above 47 cents. That should give us targets at 59 cents, 59.39 if we're going to get granular with it. 74 cents, call it 70, so 59, that would be 75 cents rounding up. And then 95 cents would be your upside targets with a stop loss average down at 42 cents. To the downside, let me shrink this a little bit. We're looking for a break below 30 cents. That should give us targets at 24 cents, 17 cents, and 7 cents with a stop loss average down at, so we can call that 36, 37 cents. So those are your T-Bio trade plans, Deidre. I hope they play out. It'll be interesting to watch this one. So with that, we are getting kind of close to market open here. I wouldn't hate having a few extra minutes to work on the SPY plan that will get posted in the options watch list for our Discord community. So I think I'm going to go ahead and shift gears over to that this morning. I do want to thank you guys for joining me. As always, we will be here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I tell you differently. So please come back Thursday. Join us for more as we review these trade plans we did today. See where our members selected tickers have gone between today and Thursday. And we'll get ready for some more trade plans that we'll work on Thursday morning to carry us through the end of the week. So with that, as we always say here on the FOMO live stream, plan your trades, trade your plans. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Go out there, get some green, secure those bags. I will see you guys in the Discord chat and back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day. I will see you guys soon. Take care.